Hi everybody, my name is Pam McCray, a millionaire mompreneur, and I am here with none other than my BFF, my best friend for life, Mr. Nathan McCray. And I'm super excited because he is the visionary and the founder of IAO the Academy, and just watching him over the last umpteen years, as we've been married forever, I can tell you that, he truly helped me to understand improvising, adapting, and overcoming. And watching him go in corporate America, being an engineer for over 25 years and seeing the job fail him time and time again, we're just super excited to be here today, and even more excited to hear from the visionary and what he has to say about IAO the Academy.
Wow,
So,
I'm honored. I'm honored to be sitting here with my wife, my BFF forever, Miss Pam McCray. She is the millionaire mompreneur. She is the founder of Create for Greatness, for those of you that don't know. And she's doing big things there, but she has honored me with her presence on the IAO platform. And we'll get into a little bit why IAO is the platform for brands. But I'm honored to be here because, she was the very first person to actually be, to have the IAO. I taught it to her first because I first had to do it. So who better to sit here and interview me and talk about IAO and IAO the Academy than you?
Right, absolutely, and I'm truly honored. And so I think that the world was asking, wanted to know, what is IAO the Academy?
Wow, in order to say what IAO the Academy is, I would have to go into what IAO really is, because IAO is pretty much a lifestyle brand, right? It's a lifestyle development brand. And no matter what you do in life, you're gonna have to create a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And that lifestyle is either bad or it's either good.
Right.
You can create a lifestyle of bad habits.
Right.
But what IAO does, it promotes you creating a lifestyle of good habits.
Okay.
And it basically puts you in the right mindset. And what the Academy comes along and does is it gives you the opportunity to put the mechanisms in place to actually build that lifestyle.
Okay.
Now you understand exactly what it takes to do it. You understand how to do it, because I believe a lot of people would tell you to do a lot of things, a lot of cliches, right?
Absolutely.
Do this, do that. But they tell you the what, but they don't give you the how.
That's very important.
IAO Academy is here to give you the how.
Awesome. So it's here to give you the how, and just listening and hearing about it being a lifestyle development program is everything. So I've heard you mention, and I'm sure some other people have too, 3LD. What exactly is 3LD? Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
Wow. So 3LD is actually the company that houses IAO.
Okay.
And 3LD stands for 3% of lifestyle development. And it's not the traditional 3%. We're not thinking about the 3% of income earners in the world.
Because most people would.
Most people will.
Yeah, most people
right?
would.
We're thinking about the 3% that governs your success, which is the mind, your body, which is the physical piece, and it is your money, your finances. If you conquer those three in that order, then guess what? Everything else kind of falls into place. So that's why you guys see me doing this all the time, because it's 3%, right? This is for 3%, right? And now I see the NBA when the guys shoot threes, it's they're shooting 3 pointers. Cool, right? But that's what 3LD was birthed from, and we got a whole part of our program that talks about the 97-3, and we'll talk about that here a little later.
97-3, not like 97-3.
So yeah, let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it now.
The 97-3. Is it? Are we like 97-3?
Right.
What are we doing here?
So the traditional 97-3, stands for 97% of the world is average, and then there's 3% of that are above average.
That's what I always heard.
Right. So here's the rule for 90, and then the number 7, and then the number 3.
So it's a difference. So they're writing. So it's 90, then 7, then 3. Okay, we got it.
So here's the philosophy behind 97-3. 90% of us, our body is just body. It's just that. It just does whatever it's told to do, right? And then the 7% of your body from the neck up is head, right? It's your skull. It's everything, your ears, your face, everything that makes up your head, except for your brain. Your brain is the 3% that controls the 7% or the other 97%, right? So if you can conquer the mindset, the mental piece, then you can most certainly conquer the rest of the 97% of your body, because it just falls into place. So that's why we focus so much on mindset here at IEO.
I love it. I mean, 97.3, understanding that mindset, 3%.
Right.
I mean, it's everything, because once you get the mind right, then everything else is possible.
Absolutely.
Everything else falls into line. So, I mean, I love that. So, you know, one of the things too that I know that IEO, the Academy, is offering is the discovery coaching. So what exactly? Because I've heard all types of coaching, right? I'm sure you have. I'm sure you've heard all different types of coaching, but I really have not heard too much about discovery coaching. So what exactly is discovery coaching?
Awesome. I'm glad you asked, because the discovery coaching in the IEO Academy is a category creator. IEO is a category creator.
Category
as
creator.
A whole, right? So
that's sexy.
Yeah, right. You got my word, that's sexy, right? So the IEO Academy, the discovery coach, is a person that not only just sits and basically talks to you, but this person, this individual goes down the rabbit hole with you.
Oh, down the rabbit hole.
Goes down the rabbit hole with you.
Down the rabbit hole?
Right.
Down the rabbit hole?
Down the rabbit hole with you, right? So it's funny,
so not
because
just standard stuff.
not just the puffball stuff. We're talking about this person really gets intimate with your life to figure out exactly not only where the wheels fell off, but where the wheels really started to wobble. Right? We need to figure out that very point. And through a series of questions and things of that nature, they find out exactly where things actually went wrong, because most people don't understand that.
Right.
So
that's good.
The philosophy is sometimes you gotta back up in order to move forward.
Right.
So a discovery coach is going to actually do that. And Pam, you know my favorite movie.
I do.
Is The Matrix, right? For those of you that haven't watched that movie, I believe that it is probably.
I think the whole world has.
Yeah,
right now.
it's funny because when I ask that in a room, typically I'll get most of the hands. There's some people that haven't.
Really?
Right.
Oh,
so here's the thing. The Matrix is so much like life, right?
Yeah.
It's scary, and one of the most profound or definitive aspects of the movie, or parts of the movie, was when Morpheus asked Neo, are you ready to go down the rabbit hole? Are you ready to discover? And he said, you want the red pill or do you want the blue pill?
Right.
Neo said, you know what? I want the red pill, because the red pill, takes you all the way down the rabbit hole to see what you can find.
Yes.
And all I know is that when Neo came out of the rabbit hole, he was absolutely the one. And that's what we promote here at IEO, is you being the one and inspiring others.
Right, not be the one that takes the blue pill.
No, don't take it.
Don't take.
You've been taking that all your life.
Don't take the right. You want to take the red pill. I love that. Very powerful. Going down that rabbit hole, because that's what people need.
Mm-hmm.
Not the surface stuff, in order to really bring about the change.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's scary too.
Yeah, it's very scary. Yeah, and that's why a lot of times people stay on the surface. But lastly, one more question. Because I've watched you literally for over, 10 years, as God really began to lay the foundation deep down in your heart, gave you this vision for IAO, and now IAO, the Academy. What is the vision of IAO?
Wow. Man, I don't want to get super formal with it, but the vision for IAO really is in large portion empowerment.
I love it.
We want to empower the average person, the person that maybe have checked out in life, maybe the person that never really checked in.
Yes.
To actually discover or maybe rediscover lost power that you may have had, or power that you may have never known that you had. Recovering and discovering that power is what's really going to get your purpose jump-started, right? We talk about a lot of different things in the Academy, but when the Discovery Coach goes down the rabbit hole with you, he has a few different weapons that he can deploy. You know, he deploys empathy. You know, he deploys effectiveness. You know, that discovery coach is going to deploy, you know, the fact that he wants you to be moving forward and not backwards, not standing still. He or she's going to actually push you into a realm to where you've never seen who you can really become. Right? Once you find out who you really are, amazing things start to happen. So the vision of IAO is to empower the average person, or I should say, the person that is motivated to become more than what they are right now.
Wow. So there you have it. I can tell you, IAO has definitely changed my life. You've been able to hear today from Mr. IAO himself, Mr. Nate McCray, the CEO, founder, and visionary of IAO and IAO the Academy. So stay tuned. There's more.